acting out.
He was a knucklehead, bro. He was a knucklehead. Teams don't want to deal with that shit. They call you a virus. But a lot of labels, they want that heat. You know what I'm saying? They want these guys that's gonna, you know what I'm saying, bring that attention.
Well, let me ask you about some current time, like the current events. Are you keeping up with the Jets now?
No, because we've been doing horrible so long. I just don't expect us to do. Are we doing good, Hans? You're a lifelong Jets fan.
No, I wanted to ask him.
Hell no.
Because I wanted to get to, ask you about, they were supposed to get the #1 overall pick.
Right. Yeah. But they won. They won 2 weeks ago.
And then they won 2 games.
Right.
Correct. Right. Yeah. So as a Jets fan, the players, we want to win every single game.
Right. My squad.
But then the Jets fans, they're looking at it like lose every single game so we can get Trevor Lawrence in that #1 overall pick.
And now he might go to Jets and the Dolphins.
Yep.
And the Giants.
Rivals, right?
Yeah.
I real quick. I just want to get back to your question, right? What you asked B. The rap, your industry and our industry.
Right.
The difference is in our industry when you cutting up, like what B said, like he was cutting up bad for a minute.
What you mean, getting traded?
No, acting out.
He was a knucklehead, bro. He was a knucklehead. Teams don't want to deal with that shit. They call you a virus. But a lot of labels, they want that heat. You know what I'm saying? They want these guys that's gonna, you know what I'm saying, bring that attention.
Wow, you right.
Because that's gonna sell. But it's different.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know what
No,
I'm
that's
saying?
good.
It's real different. So
Fred, you should have a podcast, Fred. We got one, Fred. Yo, that's deep.
Well, it's interesting what you just said because I could never understand that when I was in the league where it was like the things that we do as athletes, they cut us for. And then rappers, entertainers, you smoke weed, right? You drink, you get shot. Don't matter the situation, any drama, anything that controversy, you get deals. So the same thing that, like, there was one time I saw there was one guy in the league, he got cut for this particular situation, all right? And then I saw a rapper go through the same thing, and he had a Wrigley's commercial. I was like, how is that possible?
Because they dealing with different demographics, bro.
You
Rappers are
know
dealing
why every
with
Sunday they got white kids watching y'all.
white kids watching, but
obligated to watch y'all.
N.O.R.E.
So y'all held to a different standard. I love this conversation, by the way.
White kids to 85-year-old white men. An 85-year-old white man ain't listening to your goddamn music.
No, I don't think he is.
The demographic change. To answer your question, the demographic change. Every industry has to worry about the demographic that they're trying to appeal to.
But it could be deeper than that, because in music, if something happens to the artist, the music keeps selling.
Yes.
100%.
Something happens to you.
But let me say something. I've been all over the world, and American television is not universal. Football is.
100%.
Like I would be in Dusseldorf, Germany, and they'll be watching football. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so
at 6 in the morning.
I think although y'all have the point, but I think y'all held to a higher standards because one, we have a parental advisory sticker on our thing, and there's no parental advisory sticker.
But what about the brands though? But like, how can you be a brand spending money? The same brands are spending money on an athlete and an entertainer. Athlete goes through something, you drop that athlete. Entertainer goes through something, you give him the bag. Right. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand.
Because it's the audience.
Like, remember Robert Downey Jr.? He used to get arrested every week, and they made him Iron Man. Let's make some noise for him. Let's make some noise for Robert Downey. He flipped his shit around.
Yeah. But in the same breath, we dominate both industries.
Right.
You know, the majority is 1,700 players in the NFL. Majority are African American.
And how many is on a team?
In hip hop and rap, you know, y'all know what it is. Majority of the rappers, the guys that are making the money for the big labels, you know what I'm saying? They're African American.
Right.
When are we gonna understand that we control these spaces? Wow. You know what I'm saying? So we can come back to the table and get together and figure that shit out so we can monetize and be in a position where we're bringing other guys in so they can eat. You know, I mean, now it's different than it was, especially in your space back in the day. Right. It's different where these guys, I hear everybody talking about owning their masters and all this shit, and they can bring other guys in to eat and teach them the ropes. Right. It's tougher in football, but you guys, y'all the OGs. Right. You got to tell these guys this is how you're supposed to do it. Like we try to tell the guys on our show, this is how you're supposed to do it and conduct yourself so you can maximize your time. Because Our window is like this.
Wow.
The average lifespan in the NFL is 3.5 years.
I thought it was 4, but 3.5 is just damn near 4.
But you got motherfuckers like Brady that's played 20 years.
Wow.
Then you got guys that's playing 1, 2, 3 years. It come back down to probably about 3.5. So it's still small.
Though, right?
Yeah, we got in 13. Shannon got in like 9, 6.
Yeah.
But
All on one team.
he was doing some other shit.
Because he was drinking beer all day, country.
Y'all motherfuckers, they want to get massages all day.
He was in the hotel lobby looking for the riffraff.
You fly to another city you ain't never been to.
Right.
To play a game. San Diego Charge, you going to play them. Ain't no way I'm staying in the house. I ain't never seen the girls in San Diego. I got to get out and see something.
You gonna go get your michelada somewhere?
You a Dolphin fan? You a Dolphin fan?
Used to be.
You used to be. So this is why I struggled in Miami. I was there for 2 years, and this is when I knew it was over.
You already know what you're gonna say.
As soon as I came down here, every Friday, this boy had the whole defense. And what was the place?
Coco's.
And Coco's. Every Friday.
Shout out to Miami.
One time.
Going to the hood,
Coco's in the road.
No, I pulled up one time. I pulled up one time, had a good time,
Take
but
one?
I walked away. I said, we will never win the championship.
But hey, let me say something.
It's too much partying out here.
Check it.
By the way, this is Drink Champ Sports, guys.
But in Denver, it's a different dynamic, right? As far as
Ain't nothing
corporate wise, right? So you played 7 years, or you played a couple years in Denver. Then you came to Miami. So it's a totally different environment.
So you
But
was in Chicago before that?
my mentality was always, like, so with Fred, I was a knucklehead, and really it was, I didn't understand the business, right? So everything was personal. I didn't understand the magnitude of it, and so I had to learn the hard way. But one thing I always did was I handled my business. So even when I came to Miami, I can count on one hand how many times I went to Live, still to this day. Like, I wasn't in Live because I knew I wasn't trying to pay the price, the next morning, waking up at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and being hungover. No, like, I wanted the bag, and that was my focus.
That's real. Let me ask you a question, though. With being independent, how you were just talking about rappers being independent, how you feel about The Rock stepping out and doing the XFL? Because he'd be able to recruit a whole bunch of players to do that independent league.
I don't think it's going to work. I think he's wasting his fucking money.
It's not what you said. This is how you said it.
I'm looking at people. I give you my opinion.
He looked at him and said, answer.
I don't think that shit going to work. It's just, if you can play in the NFL, you can play in the NFL.
And he only bought it for like $2 million, right?
Yeah.
Was it $2 million? I don't really know much. But think about that, bro. You used to see in the NFL, like you said, you can be in, that nigga said the word, I don't know, Dusseldorf. Dusseldorf, Germany.
And they'll be saying it in Germany too. Like, that's what we heard about. Like, what the fuck? Go ahead.
I was there, that's where Kobe Bryant get the Regenicon shots. And you go in there, you got it. You see?
No, because I had an appointment at Coco's. You think I'm going to go to Dusseldorf? You ain't an appointment for Coco's? Everybody had this big girl in there. I ain't gonna get into it. But what the hell?
You don't think it's gonna work?
Oh no, the XFL, man. The thing is that there's when you look at tiers of stuff, there's tiers of athletes, and that's what. So if you're good enough to play in the NFL, you're gonna play in the NFL. So it's gonna be 22 guys on the field that are the best in the world.
Not even if he calls you.
What's that?
So his league is a competing league?
No. That's to my point. It's a next level.
But not
perfect example.
It's like that, but not retired.
So, but you watching the best in the world, and you know if anybody in the XFL can play in the NFL, they want to go get their money. Right. So it's going to be the second tier of players. Right. When the first XFL, the quality of play, it wasn't NFL, and we've been so stuck on the NFL that you can't get the NFL in any other league. I think that big thick motherfucking Samoan wasted all his goddamn money. Jesus.
That's his only play right there, though.
That's why they ain't starting it last season. They gonna wait 2 years. You gotta
look at the NFL. That's A1.
Right.
Then Canadian League, right under the NFL. That's what they're going to look at. That's a B squad.
Right.
And
I wanted to ask Ocho. Sorry, man.
You got XFL. That's like C and D. But these guys looking for an opportunity to try to work out. They just want to get film so they can try to get to Canada or get back.
So couldn't
to
it
the
be
NFL?
positive in that way that it's a stepping stone?
No.
It's
It's the development league.
Right.
But at the end of the day,
right.
it's a development league.
Okay,
so The Rock, he whatever he put in it, he has a potential to get that money back because he ain't doing business. You know, The Rock, couple $100 million.
Right.
He ain't doing business to fuck off. Right. So he can take that $10 million play and see if it hit. But the sponsorships, his relationships, he could try to get that back. So he got some time, man. I don't think it's going to. I don't know if it's going to fail,
Fred.
but I'm going to see how it goes.
Freaky Fred. Quickly to that point. That's your name. Everybody know that. Everybody know that's his name. But Fred, y'all like basketball? Everybody like basketball? All of them motherfuckers watch basketball. Right. How many G League basketball games have y'all watched in the last, I say 5 years? G League, the little motherfuckers that play in the summer
league?
In the little gym.
Summer league?
How many?
I watched the last 2 summers, right? No, not G League, but summer league.
That's what the bubble felt like. It felt like the G League this year.
Yeah, so the G League, bro. You not watch
the G League.
The G League, and like Fred said, there's NFL, there's Canadian, and then there's XFL. So the XFL is gonna be under the NFL G League. Yeah, nobody's watching that shit.
But you ain't gotta watch it. You wait for your opportunity. Like Buddy went to the Lakers. Andre Ingram. They brought him up. That nigga lit the shit up.
But see, that's the difference between the NBA and the NFL, where you got a lot of guys, like you dealing with men in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, it's serious business there. So you got a lot of college kids that can ball, but they need time to develop. So when you leave college, if you don't make it to the NFL, where do you go? So the XFL is important because it's a developmental league. And the NFL actually wants that. They want the XFL. They know they can't compete. They know Rock can't compete with them, but they need The Rock to be successful and also understand his place, because that's a place where the guys that's just not ready, they can go play a couple years, get some film, and get to the next level. Right? So The Rock gotta have that mentality.
Speaking of The Rock,
so why the XFL done failed twice?
The Rock's one of the
So why the XFL done failed twice? Nobody wanna watch that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.